behind me, and I'm really sorry about that. I am a few minutes late on here, and it's because I have been going over some slides, making sure that I have every bit of information on them that I can find to share with you, to teach you these 4 steps to creating healthy meals that are fast and easy for yourself or your family, but really knowing that you're taking care of yourself and doing something good for your body will help you to take better care of other people that you are already taking care of. So I want to share this with you, and so I'm going to share my screen with you. I would love to, and I am going to make sure that I can see comments. If you are watching live, to make sure that I can see comments, in case you have any questions while I'm going through this presentation. I'm not doing an interview today. You get to hear from me. I hope that you're not like, oh man, this is awful. But I want to share with you today a little bit about, and I know we're just scratching the surface on how to create healthy meals that are fast and easy, but I want to show you that this is easier than it seems. I think you know this, and I know this as an entrepreneur, that we make things a lot more complicated than we need to. And as mothers, as parents, as women, there's a lot of pressure on us because we're wearing all the hats all the time. And so if we miss a piece, it's just going to have to be that way. But with this 4-step system, this 4-step framework that I'm going to share with you, you don't have to miss a step. And each step will help ease the work or the labor in the following steps, making it super easy, super fast, and make dinner time a more enjoyable time from now on. Okay, so if you're ready for this, I would love for you to share in the comments. Let me know if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay, and say #replay so that I can make sure to come in and see your comments and share with you anything that you may have missed if you have any questions. So I'm going to share my screens. Just 1 second here. Let me grab this. And okay. Oh man. So it's not going to let me do that. Okay, here we go. We're just going to present. And I'm going to share my screen now and make sure that you can see what I can see. Okay, so let me know if you can't see the 4 steps you need for fast, healthy meals, an essential guide for busy entrepreneurs on your screen right now. There we go. Okay, you can see what I can see. I have my phone up. I'm making sure that I can see what you can see. And I'm really excited to share this with you. So I hope you will bear with me while we run through this as quickly but as effectively as possible. So I hope that you are ready to learn effective meal prep techniques, but not just meal prep, but cooking. I've had a lot of people respond to me saying that, yes, meal prep is a big deal, but I don't know what to cook either. So we're going to go over both of those things because both of them are very important steps in making sure that you are eating healthy. And often your health is the first thing to go. Would you say that? Drop a yes or a no in the comments below, whatever you're thinking as far as what is the most important step for you when you are cooking healthy meals. Do you do it for the sole purpose of getting food on the table, or do you do it because you want to eat healthy? So where, and I'm not going to, I'm hesitating a little bit to challenge you, but I want to challenge you. Do you spend more time thinking about what's fast and convenient, or actually wanting to serve your family healthy, nourishing food, not just the chicken nuggets and fries that they ask for, tater tots, or fish sticks? Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of other things. My kids have grown so accustomed to helping in the kitchen, and me wanting to prepare healthy meals for them, that my priority has become their priority. It's always strange sensation, a strange notion to them when mom doesn't have something planned, or mom is serving something that's totally different from what they expect. So this meal prep, these 4 steps I'm going to share with you, and it's not just about meal prep, are going to help save you time spent in the kitchen. And I'm going to share a secret with you right now that I hope you will take to heart. Excuse me, I need some water. Okay, we're going to, I love being lazy. How many of you like to be lazy? Can you drop a comment, drop a yes or an amen in the comments below? I like being lazy because I hate doing things over and over again. If I can do something once that will help me accomplish more later, then I'm all for it. The less work, the better, because I can use that time for other things that are important and often urgent as a mother and an entrepreneur. So if you experience those same things, then let me know. But we're going to go by the 80-20 rule. If you've ever heard of the 80-20 rule, I have the book, the 80-20 principle. This book, as you can tell, is amazing. And I learned of this principle a long time ago and have applied it to techniques and strategies in the kitchen with my meals to make sure I'm getting the most bang for my buck, right? And I don't like the term killing 2 birds with 1 stone, so I've changed it. And it's eating 2 bowls of ice cream with 1 spoon. Because if I can eat 2 bowls of ice cream, I'm gonna do it. And I want to make sure that what I am doing is going to help make things easier in the future. That is the 80-20, that's the power of the 80-20 principle. And that is the power of meal prepping. So let's talk about that. But before we do, you may know me, you may not. We may be friends on Facebook because we've connected as entrepreneurs or businesswomen, as mothers, and have become genuine friends. And I am so thankful for that. But you may not know a lot about what I do. So I'd like to share a little bit with you. I have been in the fitness industry, in the nutrition and fitness industry, for over a decade. Since my oldest was, I don't know, a year old. And I always taught the same things, that diet and exercise were really, really important, until I discovered or developed a heart condition, because my 2-dimensional healthy lifestyle had caught up with me. And there are some details in that we don't need to go into right now, but really my passion now lies in helping women find sustainable and create those sustainable healthy habits, because you wear all the hats, right? As a mother, as an entrepreneur, you wear the chauffeur hat, and then sometimes simultaneously you wear the chef hat, you wear the therapist hat, you wear the teacher hat, you wear the spouse hat or the partner hat, you wear the friend hat, right? You got to go out and be social to make friends or keep friends or feel like you're sane without going crazy. You are the doctor, you are the chef, And often whatever you need gets pushed back to the very back of the back burner. Since we're talking kitchen here. And I felt that way in my own life. I found myself feeling like I was drowning with 4 kids. I had started a business, and I just felt like I was chasing a runaway train. I couldn't do it all. So there were things that I needed to set up in my life. And once I developed this heart condition, then I had no choice. So I set up these systems and habits in my life, and especially in my kitchen, to help me be lazy, help me get more done in less time, so I could put my focus where the time was actually needed. Okay. So I'm going to teach you how to do this in your health and your kitchen in these 4 easy steps. We're just going to graze the surface here, but I want to share with you these very, very important 4 steps. So we're just calling this Healthy Meals 101. But what I want to let you know is I am creating a digital course that helps busy mom entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs who want to upgrade their health and transform their lives from a crazy, chaotic lifestyle to a healthy, sustainable lifestyle without sacrificing their family or their career. Okay, and these 4 steps right here, you're going to need these 4 steps. And so I'm going to share with you at the end, and I'm just being very transparent here. I'm going to share with you how you can actually apply these 4 steps in your life to make it possible for you to eat healthy, feed your family a healthy meal, and actually enjoy dinner time, so you can use that time to build your relationships with your family and nourish your body at the same time, so that you get the health results that you want, and you help create a path that helps your family develop those healthy, lifelong habits to a healthy lifestyle, right? Because you are setting them up for success or failure based on your role modeling. Your words mean very little. Your actions speak so much louder. And I know that you know that. So these steps will save you time and, more importantly, help you create sustainability and be consistent with your health goals. That, my friend, is the difference between failure and success, is your consistency. Now, one meal, right? And this is why I focus on habits, is that one meal is a really important step, right? It's really hard. It can be really hard if it's the first in a long time. And it can be, I just lost my train of thought. It can be really hard with the first step. And so that can make a big difference in and of itself in our confidence and self-trust. But over time, only one meal can only take you so far. You need consistent meals in order for them to synergistically work together to make a difference in your health. Would you agree with me? Drop a comment below if this is something that resonates with you. Okay, we're going to move on to the first step. And the first step in the 4-step sequence of Family Meals Made Easy is to prepare. I know that I'm preaching to the choir when I say that preparation is really powerful. And some people like to fly by the seat of their pants, and I totally get that. But when it comes to intentionally eating healthy, preparation is going to be your biggest secret weapon. It might not be secret anymore, right? If it's your biggest weapon, but it's going to be your most important one. It's going to be the 80%. It's going to be the 80% in you getting the results that you want, so that when you have put in 20% of the effort, you're getting the 80% back. You're not putting all of the effort into cooking, which is where we all make this mistake. Would you agree? Would you agree? We all make this mistake by going into the kitchen and saying, okay, what am I going to cook? You look in the fridge, you look at the leftovers, you look at the frozen stuff, and you think, maybe I should order pizza. It's just stressful. It takes more time. We waste more energy over there in the kitchen. We may waste more mental energy trying to think of things that we could cook that we want to eat and that our kids will eat. And all because we haven't taken the time to do this one step. Now, this one step is going to take some adjustment too, right? It's going to require priority. It's going to require a little bit of your time, but it's going to require less time than standing over there in the kitchen and wondering what to cook for dinner and then giving into the drive-through demons or the frozen food in your freezer or the leftovers that your kids don't really want to eat, and then you give in to the easy stuff. And then you end up being a short order cook because you're preparing something for yourself, for your kids, then your spouse maybe wants to eat something else, and you're just not feeling satisfied. And unfortunately, this is the cycle that we go through over and over and over again. Would you agree? And I don't want this to happen. So you need a better framework. A framework holds up a house, right? You can't have a house without a framework. The same goes for your health. You can't have a sustainable, healthy lifestyle without that framework to support it. And this is one of those pieces of that framework. Okay, there are a lot of other steps included in this. So we're just grazing the surface again, but just want to let you know that preparation is really, really important. And in the Family Meals Made Easy program or course that I'm creating, I share with you what I call the Smart Meal Maximizer. It's a spreadsheet, in essence, that helps you to plan your meals, and not just individual meals, but planning one meal from the things, the ingredients that you have cooked from the previous meal, and things that you've prepped beforehand, something that I call pre-prepping. We'll talk about that a little later. But you don't have time to go in the kitchen and try and prepare a meal at the same time you're trying to cook the meal. This is where your missing piece is, okay? So the second step is to cook. And if you've already prepped your meal, which I teach you how to do in the Family Meals Made Easy course, then cooking becomes your second step. You already have a plan, you already have a recipe in place, or you have ingredients in place. If you are confident in the kitchen and knowing that you could throw something together that your family would eat, then you can go in the kitchen and say, okay, I have this ready, I have this ready, I just need to do this and this, and my family members have assignments so that I'm not doing all the work. Now, how awesome is that? When you go into the kitchen and you're like, oh, I don't have to do that because somebody else did it, or I don't have to do that, that's somebody else's job, and I can focus on the other parts that I'm good at, that you're good at, and everybody can be happy knowing that they can contribute to their part of the meal and making it fast, easy, and healthy. Okay, so when you cook a healthy meal, you can prepare a lot of this food beforehand. And when you are cooking and when you're preparing the food, here's a tip for you. The more often your family is exposed to new ingredients and is allowed to use their senses in preparing them before they eat them, they are so much more likely to accept is not the right word that I want to use, but basically accept that food as part of their diet, as part of their lifestyle, right? Instead of a one-time, I don't like broccoli, it's probably because they haven't been able to taste it, to smell it, to cut it, to touch it, to look at it, to see the colors, to to see it cooked in different ways. If you're just boiling broccoli on the stove, I want to tell you right now, my friend, there are a lot more ways, and probably more enjoyable ways that you can get your kids to eat broccoli. I have a daughter. I have two daughters. My youngest daughter did not like broccoli for a really long time. But I'm telling you right now, it takes almost 18, it takes on average 14 exposures to the food that you want your family to eat in order for them to be able to process the thought of it being a regular food that they will eat. So it took my daughter a while to eat broccoli. We didn't keep it from her. We put it in different meals. I'm kind of a one skillet cook. I love cooking, again, because I'm lazy and I don't like to serve in multiple dishes. It just makes more cleanup for me. So I like to put it in one dish and make things really simple. So if she didn't like it, she would pull the broccoli out, or we would have another option there for her. But at least she got the exposure. So now she will eat broccoli. And it took her a long time, but that's okay, because I was in it for the long haul. So let me know if you are in this for the long haul, if you're ready to help your family develop those habits that make it so you don't have to say, yeah, my kids are so picky, they won't eat anything. They will. Their brains are still developing, and they will eat healthy meals as long as you keep exposing them to the foods you want them to eat. Does that make sense? Let me know if that resonates with you. If you have picky eaters, we can talk about that in another training. But right now, I want to let you know that in the Family Meals Made Easy course, you learn how to prepare your meals and involve your family. So not only are they exposed to and get to taste these new foods in different and cooked in different ways, but you don't have to do all the work. Okay, that's relieving for me as a mother. It's relieving as an entrepreneur who has too many things to do and not enough time to do that. And also knowing that my kids can become autonomous and independent in the kitchen. They don't need me to make their lunches for school, for example, which is really takes a lot off my plate. Knowing that they can choose and know what to put in their lunch that is balanced. Sure, they can take a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but then they also know that they can take apples and cucumbers and peppers, and they're happy to do so. And I'm really happy with that. And it's all because of this 4-step framework that we're going through today. Just remember that it's going to take your family time as you expose them to these new foods. And when you cook something that you enjoy or something that they enjoy, along with something new and something nutrient dense, then you are giving them exposure to more nutrients and to a wider palette that will help them as adults, right? So even if you have teenagers that are picky, I can tell you right now, I can promise you that a daughter who used to not be picky and now is, she still has an open mind and open palate because we are constantly exposing her to foods that are beyond what she craves or what she really wants to eat right now, right? She can't always have sweet potato fries. She can't always have, she loves to eat beets, so she can't always have beets or tortilla chips and salsa, because sometimes that's all she wants to eat. But it's okay that she does, because she also has a regular exposure to the healthier, more nutrient dense foods. And that's something we can do for them and for us. If you like pasta and rice and potatoes, totally fine. We're going to make it one step better, just like it says here, when we add things that are nutrient dense and colorful to those foods, so you don't have to feel deprived of what you like to eat in order to eat a healthy meal. Is that making sense to you? I hope so. So let's move on to the next part. And part of cooking is batch cooking. So batch cooking, and I know we've all heard of batch cooking, right? Where we prepare multiple meals at once, usually spending a whole day in the kitchen. I want you to like take a deep breath. You don't have to do that. Okay, batch cooking is really important. I'm going to show you how I batch cook and how I teach you to batch cook in the Family Meals Made Easy digital course. So this popular method of meal prepping is batch cooking. And as you can see in the picture where they lay out the same foods day after day after day. Okay, I like leftovers. That's totally fine for me. But actually it's not. Eventually, 2 meals, maybe 3 meals down the road, I don't want to eat that anymore. I want to eat it in a different way. So I'm going to share with you how I batch cook and make it possible so that I can not only do meal prepping and portion sizes like you see here in this picture, but you can also do it for future meals, making your prep work for future meals when you're in a rush super easy. So this is what I call, I have to move my camera over here, what I call segmented batch cooking. You can prepare for the next or future meal, like I was saying, what I call pre-prepping, and spend less money on last-minute trips to the grocery store, which I find myself doing more than I want to, because I usually have my groceries ordered and delivered to the house, which saves me so much time. So I guess I don't mind making trips to the grocery store if I need to. But I also spend less time in the kitchen so I can eat healthy and have more time on the launch, the project, whatever you're working on in your business. How you show up to serve others is going to be a lot easier when you don't have dinner on the brain and you think, oh crap, it's 5:30 and I don't have anything ready for dinner. You will when you segment your batch cooking like this, so that you can go in the kitchen and have something ready in 30 minutes or less without having to make a trip to the grocery store or spend a lot of money on a delivery from Wendy's or Chick-fil-A or somewhere else that you've decided to order dinner from. So they talk about individually portioned meals. If you talk to other experts in the nutrition and fitness field, right? They're talking about just you. But often if your health has been pushed to the side, my guess is that you're not like thinking about portions for you necessarily. You're going to put your health on the back burner. You're going to put your meal on the back burner. Is this right? You can tell me if this is really what happens for you. Is you go in and say, what can I cook for my family? And I'll worry about taking care of my meal later. And then you're so tired and exhausted afterwards that you end up eating whatever you've cooked for your kids, or for your spouse, or you end up going through the drive-through, right? So I would hesitate teaching you how to individually portion your meals, except for when you've cooked and you have leftovers, to portion them in appropriate portion containers so that you're not overeating. But what I like to do is grouping ingredients together. Like you see here, there's cheese, there's sauce, it seems to be there might be tomatoes cut up, things in the refrigerator that you can pull out and put together so that you have a fast meal ready to go. If you have chopped veggies from the meal before, when you're chopping the vegetables for tonight, for example, if you were to make tacos, you could cut up peppers and onions and whatever other things you throw in there. You could have them all prepared, put them in the refrigerator, and then use half of that, or divvy them out, right? Divide them so that you have one for tomorrow and one for today, and you use one for today, and you still have the other portion for tomorrow, so that you can pull that out again, and you know exactly what you're going to make for dinner tomorrow, and you have your ingredients prepared. I love doing that. It makes cooking so much easier, so much more enjoyable. And it doesn't have to be me who does it. I can leave a note, or I can text my daughter and say, hey, will you cut up these vegetables for us for dinner tomorrow or today? And then divide them so that we make sure we have enough for today and tomorrow. Then when I'm making trips to the grocery store, I know that I can get more than just one evening's worth of ingredients. I'm actually preparing for more than one meal when I'm doing my shopping, instead of making multiple trips to the grocery store every week so that your food doesn't go bad. If your food's going to go bad, you can cut it, prep it, and freeze it, and just pull it out and be ready for the next day. That makes sense. So I know we're over 30 minutes, but I want to finish these last two steps. The third step is serve. So I have a question for you. When serving dinner, when do you serve yourself? When do you eat? I would love to know in the comments below. Let me know when you choose to serve yourself dinner, or when you actually sit down to dinner. What is dinner like for you then, if dinner is all about feeding your family and you don't get to enjoy that time with them? What is that like for you? Is that enjoyable, or would you like to make it different? My guess is you would like to do it differently, because that's how I feel. As a mom, I want to spend time with my family. I want to spend time with my spouse, my husband. I want to spend time enjoying a book instead of spending hours cooking and cleaning in the kitchen. And when I serve, it's not just about who I'm serving, but how it's done. And when we go through the Family Meals Made Easy digital course, I teach you exactly how to prepare so that you know how to serve the meal. And you're not the only one deciding, so that your family feels like they're involved in the meal. They're going to be so much more likely to enjoy it with you than to just demand that it be done instantaneously, right? Because little do you know, probably, that your kids don't just want chicken nuggets and French fries. They want to sit down and eat dinner with you. Do you agree with that? Is that something that you want too? I know I've asked you that question already, but I want you to know that I think your family wants more than to just eat dinner. They want more than just instantaneous service. And this is also a reason why your family probably struggles to eat those vegetables that you want them to eat, because you've put something in front of them that they don't like in a situation that's not enjoyable for them. So it's going to decrease the possibility of them actually following through with something you've asked them to do. And that's why you fight your family at the table, because there's that disconnect, right? So the relationship, the environment, the experience is just as important as what you put on their plate, okay? I want you to think about that. So let's move on to, we've covered prepare, cook, serve, and the last step, which we'll cover after we just recap these. So you make time to prepare your ingredients and prepare yourself. Plan your meals, plan your methods, plan how it's going to happen, right? Your schedule really determines what you're cooking on a certain day. Today is my day to cook. Yesterday was my daughter's day to cook. So, and when they have events, which right now we're not doing any of that, but we will in the future. And so when my kids have soccer games and gymnastics, we're going to have to work around that. And I'm sure a lot of you already are. So when you prepare beforehand, you're already thinking of best and worst case scenarios, and you're preparing for them. And that is going to make your methods and your intention stronger than if you were to go into the kitchen under stress, knowing that you're crunched for time, you have a deadline to meet because you have a soccer game, you're just going to end up giving in to convenience. That's how it worked for me in the past until I developed a heart condition. Then I realized I couldn't do things like that anymore. I had to take as good of care of myself as I did of my family in order to continue taking care of my family. So you know that preparing is preparing both the plan and the food, but we can do that in a way that makes cooking fast, service fun, and then and also, like it says on here, if you check your supermarket or when you're ordering groceries online, which I can share with you the methods that I use Instacart and I use Misfits Market because I love Misfits Market. And being able to find things like at Costco where I have the frozen pre-portioned bags of vegetables, so easy and so fast, and it just lightens the load. So anything that you can find that is already clean, peeled, sliced, you can do that at home with a little bit of extra help. If you find that what you're looking for isn't available, you can do it. I will say that those things that have been peeled, diced, sliced, like baby carrots and apples, pre-sliced apples, they have a lot more preservatives and actually have had a lot of minerals and things stripped away from them. So it's better to do it on your own. But any frozen food that you find, like your frozen mixed vegetables, or at Costco, I find frozen butternut squash, I find root vegetables, I find a lot of things that are pre-cut and washed, and that makes things really easy for me when I'm cooking and preparing my meals. So the last step is close. And we pass over this one, right? Because, but my guess is actually that you don't pass over this one. You know that it's coming. And this is what makes dinner time less enjoyable, is when you are closing in your mind, like, I'm going to have to go in the kitchen and now I'm going to have to spend 40 minutes cleaning up the kitchen by myself because I've pulled all these things out and I haven't taken the time to clean up as I go along. So that is the secret to this fourth step, is that the close comes at the end, but you are also preparing for the close by doing things during the other steps. So in the Family Meals Made Easy course, I teach you how to do this so that cleaning up doesn't have to be a one-man band job. It doesn't have to just be you that's cleaning up. You can make sure that other people have an assignment too. And a couple ways that I do this is through what I call the touch it once principle, where my daughter, who loves to bake, is super good at doing this. She's made this a habit and I love it. It's just become second nature to her when she's cooking, that she pulls things out and then as she uses them, she puts them back. So as soon as she's done using it, she puts it back, and that makes her clean up really fast and easy. As soon as she puts brownies or cookies or whatever in the oven, because that's what she likes to make, then she can clean up the mixer. She's already put the dishes in the sink. She wipes up the counter and she's done. So this is part of the touch it once principle that I teach in the Family Meals Made Easy framework. I also teach what I call the add method. And the add method helps to add more time to your schedule and remove the work that you need to do. And one of those things, two of those things actually, is to do what a friend taught me years ago that transformed how I looked at my responsibilities as a mother. She said, whatever requires your personality, you do that. Then you let other people take care of the rest. Okay, so I want you to think about that and let me know if that's something you do or something that you can start doing by delegating. So the add method is to write down all the steps, which if you're preparing your meals, Then you have listed the steps of your the meals that you're going to cook, whether you have a recipe or not, the ingredients on hand, the method you're going to use to cook, and making sure that you have ingredients that you are love and that are familiar for your family, as well as new, fresh, nutrient-dense ingredients that you can help expose them to improve their palate and their habits over their lifestyle, over their lifetime. So adding, then delegating, then disciplining yourself to do the things that require your personality. And then the other things are just distractions, because chances are there are things that you do while you're in the kitchen or that you leave the kitchen to do that then suck your time away from your focus on what you're actually doing. I find myself doing this at work just as much as I used to in the kitchen. And it's something that I'm getting better at as an entrepreneur, recognizing the difference between what's necessary and what's important. So there are a lot of things that I do that are important, but are they actually necessary to getting dinner on the table? Chances are there are some things that you can let go of that are not necessary for you in order to make meals that are fast, healthy, and easy. Okay, so this is the framework that we use. And these are all the steps that we follow. And so I just want to go over them really fast. We've talked about preparing. So we talked about creating a meal plan, but in the Family Meals Made Easy framework, we talk about building a sustainable pantry, which is how you bring groceries in, what kind of groceries you bring in, what things you already have on hand, and how you replenish those on a regular basis. So you have things in the house that support your environment, because your environment will be one of your biggest factors of influence towards you reaching your health goals. And my friend, I know that you have some sort of health goal if you are watching this right now, right? To either maintain your health or improve your health so that you can make a bigger impact. So building a sustainable pantry, then we build your A-team, because you don't have to do it all yourself. And if you are single at home, chances are your A-team can include a partner, a friend, or even when you are, again, like we've talked about, pre-prepping things beforehand so that when you go into the kitchen, you know what you're cooking, you have the recipe, you have the ingredients already prepared. And the third step in there is planning the recipes and assignments. You know exactly what you're going to do to help get you from start to success in this healthy meal. Then you go through cooking it, and when you cook it, you make more than you need. So this is my segmented batch cooking that I talk about. You cook once, you eat thrice, right? Not cook once, eat twice, but thrice, because we're not just creating leftovers. We are creating intentional ingredients for a future meal to help you then either take the next step into cooking creatively or batching for freezer meals in the future. So that if you don't like making one skillet meals, you can separate it out and have your rice or potatoes and your meat and then your salad or vegetable on the side. If that's how you like it, that's great. But your segmented batch cooking will make it so that you're not just eating leftovers, but you're planning for the meals ahead of time. And then you can think and not think out of the box. That's a term that kind of drives me crazy, because we don't have to stay in this box of this is the only way that I eat meals, or this is the only thing that I have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? I don't have broccoli for breakfast. Instead, we can expand our box and say, okay, I have this. Maybe I'm going to try and eat this for breakfast. I'd like to try, adding quinoa, or I love adding lentils to my eggs. So I add lentils and spinach to scrambled or soft eggs. I'm not going to go into details, but I love the multiple textures and the flavors that all mix together. This is what happens when you expand your box, not think outside the box, because you want your box to stay big. You want to bring more things in instead of keeping more things out, right? If you're always thinking outside the box, then you're creating a stressful situation for you because this is your comfort zone. And we want to expand that comfort zone. And that's how we do it in the Family Meals Made Easy framework. So then we serve our meals and we have each of the ingredients, knowing that they cover the macros of the carbohydrates, the fats, the proteins, but more than that, making sure that we have the balance of nutrients in there. So I like to say that we have the grain, the fat, the protein, the vegetable, the fruit, and then knowing that how we cook it is going to preserve, enhance those nutrients in the food, so we are getting the most out of it that we can. And then making sure that you serve yourself too, because it's not serving your family to just serve them dinner alone. They're looking for you to join them and make it an enjoyable experience. So you actually can make this an enjoyable experience and make it enjoyable for when everyone's done with dinner. It doesn't just have to be you. So when you're storing the food, that can be somebody else's job, right? You can give that to somebody else. Or you've been doing these things like you dish everybody's plate up, for example, and then you put the rest of the leftovers away, and then that's one less step that you have to do after dinner, making it fast, easy, and making eating more enjoyable for you because you know the leftovers are already put away. You don't have to worry about picking at the meal, so worried about overeating or anything like that. You've already got it taken care of before you even sit down to dinner. So how awesome would that be? If that is something you're looking for, I'd love to know in the comments below. So the last step then would be to close, to touch it once, to clean up as you go along, then to write it down. Write down what worked, write down what didn't work. Write it down in your journal, write it down on your meal plan, on your refrigerator, so that your family can see it too, and so that they can put their input in. Because if you ask, then you'll receive. You ask for help. If you ask for feedback, they'll give it to you, right? You just have to ask for it. So if you're looking for feedback on something, invite a friend over for dinner, or ask your family, what jobs they enjoy doing most, and then give them that job to do, so that you're not doing it all, and so that you get the feedback on the meals that you're cooking creatively, or the new recipes you've tried. The new recipes that you've tried that might be a winner, and you might want to use them again, and you might not. But the only way you'll know is if you ask. So that will help you to know what will be sustainable through the future for both you and your family. I hope this has been insightful for you. Can you please leave me a comment and let me know below if it has? And if you're ready to join the Family Meals Made Easy course, now we're not launching until May, so I'm opening it up today until next Friday. So you have, until the 10th of April. You have 2 weeks. And I'll link the discount code below. The course is normally $397. With the early bird pricing, you get it at $197. So if you're ready to join at early bird pricing, will you comment me or grab the link below and I'll send it to you in a DM. And if it doesn't work for you, please let me know. I would love to make it as easy as possible for you to join the course. And then we'll open the doors May 1st, where you get all of this information. And as a bonus for joining early, I'm going to share with you the Smart Meal Maximizer plan. And I want your feedback. So you get to be part of building this course and making it actually more sustainable and more successful for you, because you get to tell me what works and what doesn't, or what would work better for you as a single mom, as an entrepreneur, just taking care of yourself, taking care of a family, however this works for you, making this so that you can go from start to success in your meal planning and in your healthy meal prepping and cooking without spending hours in the kitchen or spending a hefty amount of money on fresh food, on food services, or on convenience food, because that's just going to create problems for you down the road. And I feel like if you're here, then you understand that. So again, if you're ready for this, let me know in the comments below. I'll share with you. Here's the link. You can see it. You can copy and paste it. I will put these slides in the group, in the Facebook group. So if you're not part of the Facebook group, join the Facebook group so you can get access to this, and join me for Family Meals Made Easy, because I would love to have the feedback on things that would work best for you to help you reach your health goals and do it in a way that's sustainable and enjoyable, so that you can actually spend time with your family and love the work that you're doing, because you feel good in your own skin knowing that you're taking care of yourself, so that you can take better care of those that you serve. I hope this has been helpful for you. I have really enjoyed sharing it with you, and I hope you make it a great day, because it is what you make it. And I'll catch you in the next training and in the group. And remember that a healthy we begins with a healthy me. I'll see you soon, my friends.